Kyrie Irving is a basketball player for the Brooklyn Nets currently. He's one of the best players in the whole world. He was anti-vax. He famously was anti-vax during the COVID stuff, especially during the bubble, which maybe you heard about, which is in the NBA. Essentially, the players quarantined all together as teams in the bubble, and they just played basketball, and they weren't able to see their families or anything. But he's a ridiculous basketball player. He's a very, very talented guy, but he's also just a ridiculous dude. He has bad takes about all sorts of stuff. He recently put on his Instagram a video or a link to I guess an anti-Semitic, not a video, I guess, but a movie, like a documentary. I guess I was trying to avoid saying documentary because it's a fucking anti-Semitic documentary. But you know what I mean. Just dog shit. That's travel, by the way. Cool, but it's travel. He didn't keep his pivot foot. Actually, maybe he can slide after a hop. Who knows? He is not a fan of the Jewish people, and he was given many opportunities after he posted this because people were like, "Hey, you did this anti-Semitic thing. You supported anti-Semites." For a week, the media was like, "Kyrie, do you apologize for this?" And Kyrie Irving, many times over the course of this, said dumb, ignorant bullshit. It's not his responsibility to do this because he knows where he comes from, and if he knows where he comes from, he can't be anti-Semitic. He said these things. He said stuff essentially, I can't believe people that are representative of my oppressors would say things like, you're anti-Semitic, given that, my people have been pushed down for years and years. And so he's trying to use his identity as a cudgel to avoid his responsibility in this shit. So that's also gross. There's also a point to be made. It has a little bit of a touch of a nuance. There's a touch of nuance because while he and Kanye, or I guess Ye, have been getting a lot of heat for their recent anti-Semitism because of the nature of that, the nature of the beast here. They're very, very famous dudes. People are like, but hey, there's a bunch of white anti-Semites that you guys don't talk about, and you should bring that up too. Mel Gibson comes to mind. That's totally valid, by the way. That is a valid point. I agree that Mel Gibson should be pushed out of any of his acting gigs or whatever. True, but it's not about that right now. Right now, it's about these two. They did it. You can't deflect the bad thing they did and go, but someone else did a bad thing. Your dude's still guilty of the thing. It's still bad. You don't. It doesn't delete other people doing bad stuff. Doesn't delete it. It's whataboutism. Anyway, so Kyrie Irving was told by the NBA and the Brooklyn Nets, his team, after a week of not doing anything, they told him essentially, hey, you have to apologize. He did issue an apology on Instagram, which I guess is an official apology, I guess. That's all you got to do now is post. We just post through it. But he's being suspended 5 games with no pay from the Brooklyn Nets. Although it looks like maybe it'll be longer. I don't know. He's a really good basketball player, though. And so, they want him on the court, and they're incentivized monetarily to do that. So I don't know that the owner of the Brooklyn Nets will do that. However, consider he's playing in Brooklyn. Now, I don't know if you know about the demographics of the United States of America, but if I was going to find one place in the world with a Jewish population, it might be New York City.
It has the Jews?
And he goddamn plays there. One of my mutuals on Twitter, Kosher Soul. Ooh, he's your mutie? I love Michael Twitty. He's religious, so he probably wouldn't fuck with me that much, but I fuck with Michael. Good people. Big dude, also gay, and has a fantastic section in pretty much any cooking show you've seen. He's been on what's his name? The Townsends, and he had a good segment on High on the Hog, which is a fantastic cooking and Black History documentary on Netflix that everybody should watch. Even if you don't like cooking, it doesn't matter. Thank you for the biddies, by the way. But he did a thread breaking down why that documentary is so problematic last night. I haven't seen it. Been muties for 2 years. Hell yeah. He's a good dude. Good dude. I like him. Very based. Very based. But anyway, the big news about all this, though, is that Nike, who has been a sponsor of Kyrie through 7 iterations of his shoe, well, more than that, but 7 official releases of his shoe. I think they did a Kyrie 1 revisit and like a 3.5 or something. But I'm kind of a weirdo. I think it was a 3.5, but they were just about to release the Kyrie 8s, which I think he might be wearing, not in this clip, but because it's from last season, but it was during the bubble. Fuck. You see where the bubble, no one's fucking there. Everyone's wearing masks and just some dudes in the gym. Nike is suspending their contract with him. Now, I don't know that means they're dropping him. But the fact that they're even willing to suspend their contract with him due to his anti-Semitism stuff is huge. Nike didn't drop Kobe during his problems with his sexual assault allegation. They don't drop dudes with problems ever. Nike is I don't know if you know this, Nike is not exactly an ethical corporation. They do make some sick shoes though. But and I guess by extension of the players that use their money for good causes, I guess. I mean, give the players all their money. Who cares about these corporations? But it's wild to me that he lost a Nike deal, and like Ye lost the Adidas thing. I just think this is very fascinating that the market, like massive corporations, are siding with what I believe is the majority of consumers, which is why they do it. But it's fascinating that we're in such a fucking society that's like a step forward. It is a step forward. We do want that because we don't want it to be normalized that corporations allow anti-Semitism, but also it has the gross sort of double-edged sort of they do that while funding the people that believe in anti-Semitism anyway, through corporate donations to like Republicans and shit. I don't know that Nike does specifically, but they probably do. And they exploit labor all over all over the world, and it's like it's a clusterfuck. There's no ethical anything under anything right now. But so people have points all the way down. Thing is, Kyrie deserves this. It's a good thing. Absolutely, there should be repercussions for being an anti-Semite or just being like any of the phobes in the public marketplace of ideas. Like, you can go to Daily Wire and make your money there or whatever if that's what you want to do. Be a fucking turncoat on every fucking person you ever said you supported. Which he might do. I don't know what Kyrie's into, but he's kind of a fucking weirdo. I wouldn't be surprised if he got a podcast, did something with Russell Brand at some point. just repackaged conservative bullshit, sold it to the world. But luckily, the NBA is very player forward, and a lot of players have come out specifically and call them out. Like, literally, while they're playing the basketball game on national television, I heard Richard Jefferson, a commentator on basketball, a TV personality, and a former player, a person who has lots of respect around the league. And it's a very small fraternity of people. Like, there's only like 15 guys on each team, and they, most dudes have decent careers, and so there's under 1,000 dudes that are like the NBA. And so everybody knows everybody, and so it was nice to see, just being called out, like Shaq, and Shaq. You don't even watch basketball. You know who Shaquille O'Neal is. Shaq called him out. Had a fight on Twitter with Kanye or Ye. Not that he fucking respects anybody. I don't know, but Russell Brand lost his mind. Yeah. Charles Barkley was beefing. Like, surprisingly, I think Kenny had the worst take. But anyway, It's a whole fucking thing. But I just think it's fascinating that what this turns into, man.